Hello, and welcome to Jarviskjir Rock and North, first session of the new year, and it's session 10. I have memories of talking about the last session being session 10, but apparently this is session 10. I don't know.
We can't
maybe I'm in a time loop. It doesn't even matter.
Of time is convoluted.
Do numbers really
Chronomancer.
matter?
What matters is the friends we make along the way.
Welcome to Jarviskjir, where the points are made up and nothing matters.
I think wasn't that like everyone's first dip into improv, into like D&D improv, essentially.
It would, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Definitely triggered something in my baby brain. My parents actually went to a recording of that because the first series was UK only. Random mini fact of whose lines anyway. But it's my line because I'm the DM. Welcome to the show. It has been a little while, but actually we're at a really good point to take a bit of a break. Apparently I'm phasing in and out of existence. That is whatever. It's, you know, I need more coffee.
You're the DM. You're the voice in the sky. You're not supposed to be, you know,
Someone's got to get Thanos under control.
perceptible.
I like that line in general. We just cut that into like Avengers movie.
Supposedly in like the 70s, like the very early days of D&D, like some very old school DMs would put like a curtain between them and their players.
Huh.
Like
That's some Wizard of Oz shit.
Yeah, supposedly that was the idea, is that it's like the DM isn't even there. It's just, you know.
The disembodied voice of God.
Yeah.
I do think that works quite well when you're playing if you're playing on Discord without a camera. That sometimes does work quite well for the DM. I gotta say.
But it is a little weird when if you're like playing with your friends in person and you just put a sheet up in between you.
No, you can't see me. Do not look at the DM behind the screen.
Ian says poetry's quiet.
I can best with it on my side.
Yeah, I can't do it on my side. Good luck. I could if I spent $25 a month on Clean Feed, but I don't love you guys that much. I don't care about the show that much. I ain't doing that.
I'll mess
Also, I'm gonna apologize for snoring noises.
It's the dog.
It's that way. Yep.
Yeah.
That one.
All right.
Little doggy.
So, you are on you're on a quest, which is basically a side quest, to recover food and supplies from the Winterbuck halflings on the north side of Oakenfur. Oakenfur being a region in the north of Jarviskjir that is just, you know, a little bit of ways from Lendr, which is kind of your base of operations, kind of the town you've been doing all your operations in so far, investigating the giant elemental ring and the kind of city of rubble, the rubble mountains formed underneath it, all of that kind of stuff you've been investigating. But Snowcone just signed you up to this side quest, like, without a moment's thought, and now you're here doing it.
Did I do that?
Yeah, it was. It was like
because
one
I
of
wanted
those
my
things
gear,
where the person, I was like, oh well, no, it's something you could do, and you were like, yeah, we'll do that. Like, I didn't even need to like massage it. I didn't need to be like, oh, you could go back and think about it. You're like, nah, we'll do that. Signed
I
up.
remember
Girl's
this,
just
but,
like, I guess.
I remember it was because I wanted the gear, and they were like, "Oh, if you do this, we'll give you your gear." And I was like, "Yeah, we'll do it."
Side quest. Side quest.
That's fun.
Yeah. We did have the great river crossing fiasco, of course.
Fiasco. I thought that went off without a hitch.
Yeah, that went great.
As the DM,
For Peep
great.
and Sabriel, it went fine. For Vincent and Snow, not so much.
Yeah.
but now you are in the region of Oakenfur proper. It is incredibly cold because it is the biting midst of winter, and this is a very unforgiving landscape. It is also the cultural home of the Northmen, of which you've been spending a lot of time with, and supposedly the ancient home of giants. And apparently, according to last session, also a dragoness that you met. Vincent acquired one of her silver dragon scales, which is probably like just strapped to your back at the moment. And this session, traveling. You know, it's time to get on the road and really get going and hopefully get to Winterbuck soon. You know it's going to be difficult travel. It's going to be harsh. You did spend last night celebrating New Year's. So it is actually the first of Feldspar today, the first of the new year. And you are heading out in the snow. It's that simple. The snow's already heavy from the night. The snow's already blistering. It's not horrible yet, but it shows no sign of getting much nicer soon. Is there anything any of y'all want to do before you get going traveling, bearing in mind that, you know, it's going to be kind of like a longer process, or anything you want to do once you've hit the road?
Can you guys hear me? Do I sound better now, by the way? I messed with my audio.
Kinda. I think you're gonna just have to project.
Yeah.
Use the theater voice.
Yeah. I had something in my notes that I want to be refreshed on. I wrote a line from last session that said, Grim summons a bone thing with fangs and a long skull.
The bear.
Grim has reproduced.
Okay.
So your NPC Grimwald, the skeleton wizard, has risen a bear skeleton to assist them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, I remember that now. And then also the last line I have in my notes says that there was red stone sitting in the bottom of the embers from our fire.
Yeah,
And
Peep
I think we
napped
talked
that.
about Yeah. Okay.
Peep spicy rock.
I thought there was something
Yeah.
that we talked about with that. Yeah.
No, yeah, Peep
Forbidden
took
candy.
it. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Peep took it,
Peep
showed it
told
to Sabrel for a bit. I don't think they showed it to anyone else.
No,
Yeah.
Sabrel, like Peep sitting on Sabrel's lap on the horse is when we ended it, and like they Peep pap.
Pap?
The lizard has the rock in his hand. English doesn't work today. Not speaking it.
My brain am no do the English thing. Okay.
Ego go wakaranai.
But yeah.
Just gonna do a quick inspection of our cart and make sure everything looks tip top. Make sure everything looks like it's still in place, and then try to wrap myself up as much as possible in the blanket that was given. Just trying to prepare ourselves for this journey.
Yeah, you guys do have a lot of winter weather preparation, and all of you are actually also used to cold climates, one way or another. That said, you are likely going into blizzards so harsh, you are still going to have difficulty, but you're just going to have less difficulty than others and not have to do as many checks as other people, if the day's weather ends up being as bad as it looks right now. Your cart is totally fine, and once you kind of get on the road... Well, here's the thing. If there is a road, it's buried under snow. You can follow kind of the rough shape of it, right? Of just... people have traveled this track and it has become depressed. And that's good enough for the wagon. You know, you bought a hardy Northman's wagon. It can trudge through the snow. Not particularly quickly, but it can make do. So it should be fine. And it didn't really take any damage from the, other
Trek
events.
across the river.
Yeah. That's fine, and Peep's horse? Sabriel's horse is fine as well.
Peep's on the horse with Sabrel.
And if you
In his
remember,
cloak.
as I remember correctly, Pearl, Vincent's horse, is not here. That they're staying back
correct.
at Peep's house.
We
Yeah,
have
so
my
She is
mule.
stabled.
yeah,
Krita the mule.
Krita the mule,
Yeah.
doing a great job.
Yeah.
The horse
Okay.
thinks he's doing a great job too. He's like,
The horse is doing a great job. You're just a mean master.
my master loves me. Sapphire doesn't care.
Little tender love and care gets those creatures to go a lot farther.
Oh, he's nice to it. He's nice to it. He just has no emotional attachment to it.
Yeah.
Elves. Okay.
This thing's gonna die in like 5 minutes anyway. There's no point.
Today we fight the monsters that exclusively eat horse meat.
They're a horsivore.
It's okay. Sabrel's just gonna start riding the skeletal bear at that point.
Oh, jeez.
Other than that, yeah, just getting out on the road, going in the direction, following Snow's lead.
It is not a difficult thing to trek or track. You know, you are just heading north. The pathways kind of go. Something I mentioned a bit last week, but is more evident now the more north you're going. Ovenfur is not a region with paved roads. There are just trails, and they are under heavy snow right now. Dips between the hills in the valleys which you can take. You are flanked by the mountains on your western side, and just kind of sloped hills mostly on the other side right now. Which you don't have a great degree of visibility due to the snow that is picking up and whipping more and more and more as you are moving. But it's not entirely inhospitable. It's not entirely featureless. You do occasionally see the bones of old structures completely swallowed up by the heavy snows. Not full buildings, but, you know, kind of like the timbers where a building once was. Clearly already in a state before the snow got to it. And things like that. And also you occasionally pass little warding stones. Likely figures of, you know, the Northman gods and stuff. And you may have seen some up the mountain as well. And symbols carved on the edge of trees. And there are actually a good deal of trees around here. Snow, you know you're going to be heading into a forest, but because across the river is the Jotunskóga, the big forest that you come from, there are also still quite a few trees out this way, the majority being very tough, you know, evergreen trees that are, you know, they're not gnarled and twisted with corruption or anything, they're just rigid, very strong trees that have grown hardy from this climate, even if they are heavily bowed with the force of snow. But it's travel that you can all do. You go for hours and hours, occasionally pausing, maybe foraging anything that you can find, taking the appropriate breaks. In the afternoon, your somewhat reduced visibility... Within that somewhat reduced visibility appears a woman. A human woman. The blizzard is not in full force right now. If anything, it's just kind of a heavy snowfall. But there is a human woman carrying a baby. They're very plain. Brown hair, a distressed look on her face. Wearing just regular, kind of common folks' clothes. Warm. Actually very warm clothes. And she is, you know, kind of pushing through the snow to try and get to you. You can just barely kind of catch her voice over the harsh wind of, you know, her calling for your help and aid as much as she can. It's not the loudest yelling and screaming in the world because of the wind. You are muted.
Vincent will spring into action and he was gonna jump off the cart and trudge towards her to see if I can help get her and the baby closer to the cart.
Yeah, Snow will also rush towards the lady.
Yeah, as you get closer and you can properly hear her, she, like, you try and get her close to the cart and she, you know, sort of pulls away and, like, kind of turns, you know, to head more off the trail and is like, please, you've got to help them, you've got to help them, my family, we were traveling together and the cold, it's got to them. They need help. You look like people that could help us.
Can I insight this?
You can always roll insight, Ori.
Do I believe her?
That's an insight roll, yeah. Both of you
Yeah,
can roll
I'm
insight.
not gonna roll that because I think Snow would not. He would have no reason to disbelieve her.
Yeah, same with Pete.
Yeah.
Sabriel's like, she's either accurate or actually in need of help. She's a hag or something else. I'm
What balls would it be for, like, you're traveling down an icy road and a hag is like, I'm gonna play a trick on these guys. It's a ballsy hag.
I am a DM. I have done this.
That would be like rolling the random encounters tables. Like, you meet one green hag. Yeah.
I was in the military. Yeah, I don't believe that people aren't above putting a baby as a bomb and pretending like whatever.
Hey,
Whatever.
I work 911, bro. I'm
the same way. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Sabriel.
Unfortunately, Snow is very naive.
Yeah, Snow doesn't even roll insight. Snow's just like, huh.
Need to help.
Both Sabriel and Vincent, you immediately, maybe Vincent, you were more concerned at first, but immediately just the bad vibes grow. This is definitely a trick, and she doesn't actually look like exposed to the elements that much for this even to make sense. In fact, she's very kind of clean looking, and Sabriel can tell that it's because of the glimmer of an illusion upon them. That baby has not moved a minute amount, which, I mean, hey, it is cold, but the woman is shrouded completely in illusion. You can't see through it, but you can see the telltale signs of, it's like I mentioned to you yesterday, Ori, it was like, I can see the special effects. That's basically what it's like when you can, like, I know there's an illusion, but I don't know what's behind it.
Meanwhile, Snow is like
messaging me the Hobbit movie.
In the Hobbit movie, they made Bjorn's hair really big and they digitally edited it down, and I was like, I can see.
He was like angrily tweeting or like messaging me on Discord.
It wasn't angry, it was I had things to say about the Hobbit movies, which meant they had to go to you.
I found it. I have stickers for this.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Snow is just like, point us in the direction, woman. We will help.
Yeah.
She nods, quite frantically, and will start leading, kind of past this line of trees. Do Vincent and Sabriel, do you kind of stay where you were?
So
Sabriel's not going.
I drop back just a little bit behind them, and I just kind of try to silently draw my sword and my shield, just ever so slightly, just in case.
Can I do the thing? Can I do the thing with the ropes?
That's like a ranged touch spell. They are at this point like 60 feet away from you. They would never near you.
I'm not touching the Fey lady.
At this point, not only are they far away, but Peep and Snow are leaving with them.
Yeah,
did Peep like teleport out of my lap?
Yes, there's a woman in danger. Yeah.
Peep just like,
jumped into
through
action.
the horse.
I don't know. It's like if
He just says them through the horse.
There's just like it's like a shark knifing through the water. There's just a little bit of snow that's moving with people running through it.
Yeah, if I don't know, if Vincent doesn't warn or Sabriel don't warn us, Snow is gonna probably run after the lady.
We're willing to help you, but could you tell us what we might be facing against? I'm a little concerned with the weather and things. Is the chill taking them completely? Are they sick? What is going on?
What's wrong with your baby?
At this point, she is too far away to like actually stop and reply and answer. She just kind of keeps moving through the snow. Do you two idiots continue to follow?
Yes.
Snow would pause and look back at Vincent.
Peep runs through Snow's legs to keep following the lady.
Did you say say that when I took a drink. You saw me taking a drink. You asshole.
That was not. That's just a happy accident.
Snow would like look back at Vincent, like confused by the questions for a moment.
Peep.
I will.
Yeah. Peep,
I'm
at
gonna-
this
I'm
point,
gonna-
Peep is kind of out. Not out of your visual range because it's not that snowing that heavy, but Peep is like behind the trees. Like Peep is
If
gone
gonna-
behind the trees. You can barely
If
see
Peep
Peep.
keeps going, Snow's gonna run after Peep.
I'm gonna
Okay.
stick my sword in the ground, draw a javelin, and throw it so it lands directly in front of her where she's leading them.
Roll me an attack
Spear
roll.
Peep.
In
We're
front
gonna
of
get
Peep.
shish kebab Peep.
Oh my god. Pete,
We're
stop
gonna have
moving
fried.
right to the
You guys
leg.
have seen like Spirited Away, where like he get like the
This is really good,
Spider-Man
yeah.
gives the lady a lizard on a stick that's been roasted. That's Peep.
Yeah, you throw the javelin. It launches right beside the lady. Perfectly exactly where you intended. It's enough to kind of break through the kind of almost semi-silence of the cold, and she turns, and there are like daggers in her eyes to you. You are very far away at this point. This was like a miracle throw, but Peep and Snow are not. And that's when she launches fire from her hands and the illusion fades. She was not human. The illusion kind of it really is like a shattering of glass, and she is suddenly someone else. She is instead a female hobgoblin. With slightly leathery red skin, the kind of jagged lifeline down the middle of their body, wearing robes like a mage, spellbook in hand. From the spellbook, twist, fire, and I'm going to take y'all to a battle map.
Yeah.
It's always
Snow-
fey fuckery.
Snow-
It's not
face
Fae,
turns-
these are hobgoblins!
Snow's face turns from concern to anger.
Turns from
Hobgoblin
concern to
fuckery.
crispy.
Maybe
Go
that's
ahead
good.
and roll initiative, and then they'll get their surprise round.
Crispy hobgoblins.
Oh, we were
It's-
close.
Oh damn.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
It's
well,
hobgoblin
you
fuckery.
followed.
Yeah.
You were further away, but like when she stopped, I imagine you two kept going for a bit.
Yeah, that's
you know,
Yeah.
Is
that
this
makes
map just a
sense.
square?
basically.
Okay, roll
Why?
20 is just being weird.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
like,
there's-
Roll20 's,
there
like,
are
trying to
trees.
extend it out.
Oh yeah, Roll20's done that for like years, where it's like not quite understood the smallness.
Yeah, it's bugging me out. I'll deal with it though. It's fine.
Who missed their initiative? Poetry didn't. There we go.
Oh,
I'm trying to find Sabriel on
yeah,
the map.
didn't-
You
That's
are
what it
follow the road. Sabriel's on the road.
Oh, okay. I couldn't find him.
So you're kind of down this way.
Okay, not bad. Not great, but not
Not
bad.
bad, not terrible, not good, not great, not bad, not terrible,
my-
not good.
Dex is a 1.
Oh no. I see more. Oh no.
Because Vincent and I tied, so I don't know how you want to.
Oh, I mean both your decks is the same, so at this point it's
Yeah.
Let me go first if you can. I'll jump on the back of your horse so we can try to ride up together.
Cool
that
move,
is a
let's
good
do
point.
it.
You do have a horse there. I guess I'm adding the horse.
Let's go.
Horse is gonna die.
This is it, boys.
Krita is good. She'll stay with the cart back there. She's
Yeah,
not-
like I
just
haven't
about-
even put the cart on because it shouldn't come up, but
Yeah.
Listen,
there's
I
a
just
horse.
about had a moment and called him Mr. Stark. No, this is not Zealous.
This is not Mr. Stark.
Oh.
Yeah, this is what happens when you collect horses. You love them and leave them.
Mr. Stark needed a rest and a vacation, and so he's getting one.
Mr. Stark got turned into glue.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna draw Krita. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you. I very much appreciate it. Now I need to roll initiative for all the frickin' enemies that they didn't really even ambush you. You're like halfway there. Which is great. The fact that it's like a half ambush on half the party and the two old men are suspicious is hilarious.
What? Isn't there a movie about that? Something for old men.
No Country for Old
No
Men.
country for old men.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
What's the most you ever lost from a corn
Trickery and deceit has no place against age and wisdom.
I drew Krita the horse. It's beautiful.
Where?
for lucky dick
Oh.
and balls.
Why does it
Don't
look
do
like
that,
it
it
just
becomes like
splatted
any
out
other
of
coin.
Minecraft?
It looks like it's saying, like, draw me like one of your French girls.
She's very wide. She's 15 feet wide.
What's wrong with the horse? It looks perfect. It's a perfect horse.
It's gonna
It's a
Kratos is
mule.
running around like a banzuki, just like
I will always accept a Bamzuki
It's-
reference because no one else will get it.
It's
She is Andre the Giant, the donkey mule thing.
it's four legs are just splayed out, and there's just a bunch of little tiny spider legs underneath the four legs.
Oh, it's the Return of the Spider Elephant from the freaking Wednesday game.
Jeez.
Okay, so
What?
first of all, surprise attack from
Oh, no.
the Hobgoblin Firestarter. She casts Burning Hands on the pair of you, Snow and Peep. I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Alright.
And this is proper wizardly arcane magic.
Ooh.
You know, there is the glow of actual almost dragon-like symbols from the spell tome, and then just kind of sparks and fire. You have advantage on these.
Yeah, this would apply, I think, right?
Yeah. You can see it.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Because I have no positive modifier, so I might need it.
I mean,
Did
you're a
not
big
help.
boy.
It did
you
not.
put them together, it's a 28. Like it's pretty good.
yeah. Just it's both of the digits.
Oh yeah, let's add them together. I have a lot of goblins, so I think I'll still win out on this one.
Yeah.
No, just like instead of dodging the fireball, walks right into it.
Puts himself
Peep,
between
you-
him, the creature, and Peep, and just like
Well, Peep saves. Peep can just like duck under the snow, and the snow can like melt. You are still gonna take half damage. Let me roll it. They are gonna actually whip out one of these bad boys. Oh, it's a high roll.
That was a noise.
It's 22 fire damage. Peep, you take half of that, so you take 11.
ooh.
This is a searing flame. Peep, you can kind of duck down, and the snow takes the brunt of it. But even then, you know, the snow becomes boiling water and steam that like kind of singes you. Snow, you are just a wall. You're a big target for a big fire spell. They're just.
Snow
But you
is
can-
easily wounded.
Yeah, this.
You know that
They put a
video
lot
of
of
the guy
magic into that.
blowtorching
It's
a
barely
cockroach?
controlled.
Oh, jeez.
You are actually up next, Peep.
All right, let's get up in there. So,
Muffin.
and let's take a swing with the halfling greatsword. Check. I'm not missing anything. Okay, good. Flat. Not great, not terrible.
While you think that, you know, when Peep starts swinging, it's like, you know, it's up to the gods now, and you think it could kind of hit because they're wearing like robes. They very quickly kind of like flick to a page of their book, and just this barrier sheens up, and your blade kind of gets stuck on it, and you're like held there for a moment. And that barrier kind of keeps staying up as the Firestarter uses shield, because I can do it too.
Yeah.
Indeed.
You see as she does that, she kind of turns to north, and she growls out in Goblin to the rest of the ambush party. But, of course, they are not able to react quite as quickly. So she's a little stuck. But what she'll do, now that you're actually retaliating, is drop a fog cloud at her feet. Actually, it probably won't even be at her feet. I'm just getting up the range for it right now. Okay. Now I need to find a cloud. Such is tradition. Fog cloud is, of course, huge.
Well, for a second, I mixed up fog cloud with cloud kill, and I was like, "Oh, we're fucked."
That's it.
No, you're not fighting the Lich yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Y'all,
So
what
she
if we
drops
got
this-
to the- Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what if we get to the end of a dungeon and then Grimwald is like, "I was the Lich all along."
I told you.
He's literally a skeleton raising other skeletons. I don't know what to tell you at this point. Yeah, she doesn't drop it like directly behind. She kind of like summons this ball of like smoke, and actually it isn't fog. It really is like fire smoke. It's like the smoke of a really dirty bonfire, and kind of throws it down. It kind of bounces and whoosh out. And she is going to take the opportunity to move. You can make an opportunity attack against her as she moves, because she's not
Let's
disengaging.
go. Is that a disadvantage or anything because of the?
You can't see her, she can't see you, so it's actually flat right now.
Huh.
She can't see through her own fog.
I
Yeah,
always forget
it's a
about that,
weird
yeah.
thing how 5e works.
It's kind of neat though, because it's
Coolio.
like it makes sense.
It's interesting, at the very least. Next up is you, Snow.
I'm guessing
so
that was a
it's,
miss.
it's
Yeah, it would
heavily obscured. I don't know if Snow would be able to figure out where she is. Do I need to make a check to like know where she is or anything, or?
You would just need to get
Like-
out of the smoke
Okay.
unless you think she's still in the smoke. You know, you can use your other senses to
Yeah.
kind of get an idea, but right now you can't see anything. You just got the cloud, which is
I
a
mean,
tool
he-
enough to, get you.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, first he's gonna rage because he's pissed off. He just got blasted by a goblin. Well,
Blasted in the asses.
And so now that he's raging, he's got a good bit of movement. So I'll say he's probably gonna run like this way. So like 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45. I don't know if would I be able to see her from
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
or-
At this point, you can kind of see around the edge of the wisping smoke.
Okay.
Absolutely.
In that case, I will, so kind of like runs to the side because he doesn't know where she is. He doesn't want to just charge forward and bump into her or smush Peep. So he runs out to the side to just get out of the way in a place where he thinks hopefully he can see her. And he will chuck a javelin at her.
Okay.
You know what? Actually, wait. Can I do reckless attack on ranged attacks? When you make your first attack, no, it has to
No,
be-
you can't do reckless on range.
Yeah. Yep. So just a normal one, and yeah.
Just throws the javelin the wrong way around.
Oh, she still has a magical barrier around her, but that is going to pierce through. That absolutely chunks through, and she screams out. She's a fucking wizard. She gets hit by a javelin. She kind of like half falls, manages to get herself up. It's a pretty brutal thing. Like the momentum of the throw just spins her out, but she's still standing. She's still fighting.
Okay. And that'll be it for me.
All right, Sabrael, you are all the way over here. There is the cloud in the
Vincent
way
was-
you can't see through.
We're gonna let Vincent go first.
Okay, yes.
I will just move over and hop on the horse. Is you want me to make an animal handling or athletics or anything for that?
It's just
or-
an action.
Okay.
You would have disadvantage on any actions because two adults on the back of a horse without like a specialized saddle or anything, but that's fine. I imagine you're just gonna jump off at some point.
So yeah, I'll as I'm running, I'll grab my sword out of the ice and the snow and run and kind of leap up onto Sabriel's horse, and then I'll that'll be my action. That's my turn.
Alrighty, go on, Sabriel. Right on.
Ori's gotta pull up the horse stats because she forgot.
Yeah, this one's just a riding horse as well, not a war horse.
Yeah,
or
I
anything
I
fancy.
can't remember the movement.
It's 60.
60 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
60.
All right. Well, Sabriel and Horse and Vincent are gonna move 60 feet. That's a lot of feet.
But it's also a very big battlefield, and these two clowns went a long way with the wizard in disguise. So
Yeah. I'm marking the spot that you pinged us for 60. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, Sabriel is gonna be a dick.
you can't see the wizard right now because of the fog cloud in the way.
I don't need to.
Just wanted to make sure. Sometimes you gotta say the DM thing.
Yeah.
Why is it not going? Trick shot. I don't have to see her. I just have to know she's there.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to do the... so there's two ways you can cast a spell. It's either just she makes a save, or it's the contested... what is it? Stealth check. And then you can use it later. Do you just want to blap her?
I just want to blap her right now.
Okay.
She's a
Intelligence save from the wizard. It's a pass. But they still take half damage. Which is pretty big.
Yeah.
I know.
Listen, I just was picking a spell that I know I don't have to see her to use.
Yeah. It's a bullshit spell that I made to be bullshit. It's the point. It's the spell that only like assholes take. So, and
Hey,
and Sabriel's class gets it for free.
It's my always prepared spell for free for that level. So.
And what is your class? Cleric of Elves. It all comes full circle. Yeah, no, absolutely. She is quite heavily injured by that. Clearly not meant to take the brunt of the battle, but still pretty tough being a hobgoblin wizard. And that's your turn. Now it's the turn of the hobgoblin camp.
Yeah. I feel like Snow's about to take some javelin throws or arrows or something.
They're all quite well armed. The hobgoblins within Oakenfur, the remnants of the War-Called and the other factions, they're warriors, mercenaries, hunters and such. So they all have quite rough shod, almost. I mean, like imagine the Urukai or the White Orc and the Hobbit and stuff. There's like that kind of level of gear and equipment that's deliberately kind of brutal. They right now are going to be wielding. Well, at least one of them is going to just start charging sword and shield. These ones are going to be using their crossbows, but they are actually a long way away. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does that get them within crossbow range without disadvantage? No.
Oh, it does.
No, just missing by 1. So they still have disadvantage, but there is going to be a crossbow shot at you. Snow, what's the DC?
12.
It is a hit.
Okay.
Grim is there with you.
Is he in the back?
Grim's with the cart.
He can just be in the car, you know.
Traffic treat his legs.
You've left him behind, you know. You're like, where's Grim? You look back and Grim was like ready to get on the horse. It's just like...
How much am I taking?
Yeah.
Well, at least I'm raging now, but...
It's going to be 7 piercing damage from that strike. The others are also going to attack you. They're just kind of moving into a better position. And this is, you know, they weren't as ready as they would have liked to have been for this ambush, but they are still very tactical warriors, the hobgoblins. You know, we've already encountered much of this before Snow. You know, and you guys have before as well when a different band of hobgoblins attacked the town. But whenever we get into position, they take like a knee with the crossbows. They ready it. And there's going to be a shoosh of bolts. One is a complete miss, and the other is another just barely hit, which is going to be 2 piercing damage on Poetry. Skims by you.
2 before the being halved, or?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Okay.
Peep, you are in some icky cloud. Oh, and actually, she needs to make a Constitution check, which she does. Okay.
1, 2, 3. There you are. And swing.
Yeah, you kind of like swing, and she just like jumps back, and like kind of catches the spell. He's like, "Get away from me, you disgusting creature!"
That's rude.
Oh no. Oh, I think Peep's about to get roasted by her.
Before I should have done that other way around. Oh well. Just to be safe, I'm gonna Fighting Spirit, so I get those 5 temp HP points.
Mm-hmm.
Should have done that first, so I got advantage, but too late now.
Yeah.
Bros, like,
And
that's
that'll be my turn.
disgusting little creature.
She is going to, as she kind of recoils back, she's going to form almost like a whip of lightning in her hand, and it's actually going to be Shock and Grasp right now because you're so close, but she could definitely do Lightning Lure as well. It's a melee spell attack. What's your AC, Peep?
It is 16. Yes, 16.
She hits a 17. She's rolling good.
God damn.
It's going to be 1 lightning damage.
1.
Is that,
She's rolling well.
The...
Yeah.
Oh.
Good. Good. And she actually is going to continue running away without disengaging as well. So you have an opportunity attack against her.
Let's go. Swing.
It's a miss.
Oh, no. Peep chops down one of the trees on accident. No.
There is a call from the shadows as their lesser goblins are called to the battlefield to assist.
Oh no. There's more.
There's always more. They're goblins. No, clambering their weapons together.
It's
Alright. Next is Snow.
okay. Yeah. So Snow will okay. Let's see. He's gonna go. So I still got my movement, my extra movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my normal, and I get 3 more.
That's right. By them actually kind of hitting you with the bolts, they kept your rage up.
Yeah, they did. So
Fools.
So he's gonna charge in here, and he's gonna chuck another javelin, I guess, at the wizard. Yeah, so he runs up next to where Peep is, and then kind of ending his run there goes, whoo, and chucks the javelin. Let's see if I can hit again.
Are any of you good at throwing javelins IRL?
Nope. And apparently
I did it at school.
either.
I did it at school for a bit. Yeah, that is a horrendous miss. In
Maybe,
fact,
it's Peep's last swing was so bad that I have to
gets
dodge
you
out
off
of the
guard.
way.
And as you're off guard, you're throwing the javelin, and it clatters into this tree, which kind of makes it teeter and fall and snap, and it snaps into the other tree, making both trees collapse. Don't worry, they're not going to trap you, but they are going to fall in the way of the battlefield.
Okay.
So I get
How
everything in the way.
strong was that throw?
How weak was the tree?
It was a rage throw.
Yeah. I guess also
They kind of
could
clatter
I.
with the wind.
You know what? No, I'm not gonna. No, okay. I was thinking about doing something else with a bonus action, but I was gonna use my potion, but it's not that dire yet. So
In before
The
you
mystery
pass out.
potion?
yeah, I'll be fine.
The
So, yeah, I'm
cursed
good.
potion?
No, just the healing. One of the healing potions we bought, but I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna use it.
All right, Vincent. Right now you're on the back of Sabriel's horse. You'd have disadvantage if you wanted to try and do any mounted combat.
I'm holding until she gets closer. Or so until he gets closer. So Sabriel gets closer.
Okay. You riding?
I have a question. Because does the horse have its own set of actions, technically?
Not in this context. As a
Okay.
simple riding horse, essentially your movement is higher. When you have like a Pegasus on the battlefield that's like your ally, it's a bit different.
So technically the horse can't dash, and that won't be that'll be my action if the horse dashes, right? That's what
You
I'm thinking
dash on the
Yeah,
horse.
okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I wanted to make sure before I tried to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's basically how it
Sabriel.
works when you have like a something, you know, your Pegasus that is its own creature on its own turn order. It's just you're doing it through them, basically.
I need to mark that smart. Okay. I can't. There's too
The
many
finish
squares.
line, yeah.
Uh,
D&D is really cool on big battlefields. At the same time, got to keep track of it.
Vincent, is that close enough for you? Because I am close enough to do spell stuff, but
I mean, it's close enough for me to do spell stuff as well.
okay. I'm going to. Is this which one of these two is the wizard?
This one's the wizard.
What's this one?
That is a hobgoblin sword and shield soldier
Okay, you know
charging
what?
forward.
He's gonna-
Still
he's
charging,
about-
although at the moment kind of like, what the fuck, because a tree fell down behind him.
So I can infer that he's likely not very smart.
Well, most people would be scared by a tree falling behind them. I think it is the default opinion when a tree falls behind someone to be scared of the situation. But they are a soldier. But hobgoblins are smart in general. Do with that what you will.
I'm out of range anyway of what I want to do. I was gonna make him, face plant, but I'm just gonna guiding bolt him instead.
Okay, you have disadvantage on the attack roll.
Do I?
Because both of you are clumped up on the horse together. So making actions is awkward.
Okay.
For this
I
sort
was
of thing,
like,
you
he's
need a
in
tandem
range.
horse. Specially designed.
A
Slap me
tandem
in.
horse. Oof.
That's really good.
That's the.
No, they
Okay.
definitely have saddles for buddies mounted combat. That is really good and is a kill. That goblin just is like turns around as the tree falls
Him.
and he just turns to dust. Yeah.
Sabriel just dusts him.
It's a flash and just they
this
got
is-
hit by the sentinel beam in Halo. We've seen this.
It's par for the course for Sabriel. That's what we do in combat with Sabriel, apparently. It's just
Welcome to 2022.
mist
Sabriel is
thing.
still turning people into bloody mist. There's a spray of red on the snow. But
So,
there's no sign of
I
the goblin
take it-
other than its sword, shield.
I take it the next attack does not get advantage on.
No. But thank you for asking. Did you want to take your turn now, Vincent, or your action?
Yeah,
'cause you're holding it?
I'll throw a javelin at the wizard from here. With
Yeah, it would
disadvantage.
exactly. It would have disadvantage anyway. That is a hit. They don't go down, and neither do they drop the spell. Okay, goblins. They are talking and organizing in Goblinoid, as they would. What exactly they want to do? You guys are that far away, which actually means this guy probably can. 4, 5, 6. Get in range to shoot the horse, because of course you're both on a horse.
Can I fling my shield around it on the horse and like
Yes.
Impose disadvantage against the throw?
Yes. Okay, so what's the horse's AC, Ori? Because you have the horse up.
It is 10.
Well,
I was gonna
because of the disadvantage, you made that go to a 5. So that is a miss. Yeah, you have the crossbow bolt could just like clatter into the snow,
Not
which is
Zillion.
badass, by the way. This guy's gonna.
I'll whisper in the. I'll lean around and like whisper on the horse. I got you, bud. I got you.
Cyberl's mildly impressed. Mildly.
The hobgoblin archer back here is gonna just shove the little goblin out of the way as they kind of get in the right position to take a shot at Snow.
Okay.
Which is a
12
miss.
AC, yeah.
No, it's not even. It's not even like, you know when you see the number and it's like, it's not even worth the mental arithmetic of adding like the number.
Yeah.
Even though it's nothing, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And this one's gonna stay back and I think just shoot at Sabriel themselves, which is also a miss.
Because I've
Okay.
terrified the shit out of them by vaporizing their friend.
They don't look that scared. Hobgoblins are quite difficult to make morale be lost in combat isms. Peep.
Let's go. So
Sometimes you gotta lean
10,
in.
15, 20, 25, 30. Let's keep going. I'm gonna chop this wizard's legs off. Let's
He was angry.
Rob, bite your bloody legs off.
It's a hit, and you chop her legs off. She is not really dead yet, but she's bleeding into the snow. She's gonna be dead in seconds. I just need to type that down. There we go. Good. Yeah, she is out of combat order right now. She is she's just screaming on the ground.
I'll finish her off. I'm not gonna just like leave her to die, like slowly and painfully. I'll
Keep just
do a
starts
finishing
gnawing on
blow.
her leg. Just gnawing on the stalk.
Drinks the blood.
Food.
It's a long travel, you know. Eat what you gotta eat.
Snow cones.
So you know those like images of like lions where like
Ooh.
the cubs are like climbing inside a
Oh
zebra?
yeah!
It's like it just
Cubs
he just
absolutely do
dives
that.
in. Yeah.
Ooh, hobgoblin flavored.
It just pops out of the chest cavity.
They do the yeah. That's the noise. That's the canon kobold noise. Okay. Little goblins. At this, I say the hobgoblins are not scared. The lesser goblins, you know, you see, especially this one that was kind of charging into a stealthy position. They are kind of like skin. They kind of look back, and one of the hobgoblins kind of gives them like a motion, and they're like ready their bow, and they will shoot. Actually, they need to get away around this tree trunk, which is in the way now, because that's way too high for. Actually, they're going to climb the hill. There we go. They climb the hill. They're going to take a shot at Peep. It's a miss. Massively. So, like, you finish off the wizard, and just this goblin arrow sinks into the muddy snow beside you, bloody snow. This one here is also going to take a shot at you. It's also a miss. Shouldn't have used a green dice for goblins. It's not working. It's not gone. It's your turn.
Okay. Yeah. Snow is going to, I guess, run towards the hobgoblins. So I got 9 things of movement. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. And I'm gonna chuck a javelin at this hobgoblin.
How many javelins do you have left?
I have 2 left.
Oh, no way, same.
I keep 4. Actually,
Yeah.
wait, no, you know what? Hold on, I don't have 4 anymore. So I don't have any left. So it's a hand axe. Wait, hold on. What's the rate?
Oh, is my camera
Didn't you
frozen?
eat one at one of the harpies?
What do you? What's the
Yeah,
camera?
so I lost one that way, and then I lost one somewhere
Okay.
else.
You also don't have the
So-
giant hand axe anymore.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't have that. I
yeah.
gave that up. What is the range on a hand axe?
It's 20, 60.
20. Ooh. I mean, I guess I'll try it. Might as well. So I'm gonna yeet a hand axe at him with disadvantage. Come on.
Double 20s. Let's go.
Oh,
Never mind.
You do the
Another
wee
90.
bowling thing where you throw backwards and it hits Peep in the head. No, it's you throw way better than you think, and that's gone. Just far into the distance.
what in the world's going
I'll
on?
remove that from my
Yep.
hand axes. Yeah, what about the one that got knocked into a tree? Is that one like snapped?
Javelin.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way.
Okay.
There's no way. Vincent, when you're ready, it's your turn. Do you need a sec?
No, my screen looked weird in the stream. It looked for a second, so I was making sure everything was good. Okay. I will just yell at Sebriel. Get me close to Snow. See if I can heal some of his wounds. You look like you took a pretty big blast.
Oh yeah, your screen is weird, and it's entirely my fault. I think. Yes.
There's 2 Vincents.
There's 2 Vincents.
That was I was like, something's going weird. I thought it was my green screen at first. I was like, something's weird. But...
Well, I essentially green screened you onto you.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, hey,
yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, there we are. Sure. All right. Well,
Now we're cooking with grease.
nice.
Okay.
What's the plan? What are we doing?
I just told Sebriel just to get me as close as he could to Snow, so that I could maybe try to get in there and heal him up. He looked like he took a pretty big
Mhm.
blast.
So
Right.
yeah, Several will, I guess, go 60 feet.
Do you want me to do you 60 feet in the right sort of spot? Because, you know, you've
No,
got
I
to...
can get there. No, that's not the select button. That's the select button.
Yeah.
Okay. Sabral's gonna stay on the horse for now because I don't want to use an action to dismount.
Actually get, like, there, I think. Yeah. Cool.
Either way, I'm close enough.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'll let Vincent do his healing first, and then I'll do my attack. We're taking our turn. We're sharing a turn right
You
now.
are basically sharing a turn right now. It's I'm just allowing it. It's convenient.
I will take my action and dismount.
Okay.
get
I was
rid of
gonna
this,
say
so.
it's either an action to dismount or a really bullshit like acrobatics roll. So
Yeah, I'll just take my action and dismount there. Get next to Snow.
okay.
I'm going to do my attack after that.
Okay, I see. Yeah, so you really are taking your turn at the same time. Okay, sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, he was still doing something.
I'm done. That's my whole
Oh, yeah,
action. That's all I can do right now.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were still talking. My brain forgot what I was going to. Oh, can I? I'm gonna cast the same
You're
thing. And
Out of range of inflict wounds before you say it.
no,
Even with your sword.
I'm gonna. Oh wait, I'm not at disadvantage anymore.
And who are you shooting at?
This one.
Okay. Yeah. Roll re-roll with neutral.
I forgot Vincent wasn't on my horse anymore.
Mm-hmm. Much more free and limber to move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh!
And that makes all the difference.
Not only
Just vaporizing everyone.
not only is the hobgoblin disintegrated, but the lesser goblin who was like readying their sword and shield in front is just eradicated in a wave of raw solar nova. It's like
Can I do that and then look at the other ones and just like intimidate?
you want to roll an intimidate? Go ahead and roll intimidation. Yeah. This is absolutely a situation.
Sabrio's
where
just
that
out here
happens.
setting goblins on fire left and right. Maybe we should get out of here. You have called down the thunder. Well, now you got it.
With my 1 charisma. No.
If anything, the goblins are even more in a fervor. You
Nice.
It's like a kind of Actually, it's something that you would understand very, very well, Sabriel. A kind of religious bloodlust, basically, that's kind of overcoming them. You see, one is like taking an amulet, like a really like jagged, almost Witcher amulet thing from their hand, and like cutting their hand with it and throwing it down, and they're going even harder now. This is when the health bar refuels and the Bloodborne music starts.
Yeah.
Second round, second stage boss fight. They all become one, like that ball of bodies in Castlevania.
Oh, God.
I
Except for the
would do
ones that have
that as a
been
boss fight.
dusted. I know you would.
Snow, you are going to get crossbowed.
Okay.
It's going to be 8 piercing damage.
Okay.
And at that point, the person drops the crossbow and draws a sword.
Mhm.
What is the range here? There is
Yeah.
range, yes. It's going to be a
Take
crossbow on Snow.
I can
It's a hit.
feel
It is 3 piercing damage.
Okay.
So yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
Looking great though, that's for sure.
Peep.
Is going to dash over to that goblin on the hill. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
What a world when
Just like-
small fights small.
SMOL.
They're just like a
Yeah.
slight like blood smear. They're like dragging the greatsword through the snow.
Oh,
Just like
God. The goblin's probably terrified.
and yeah,
That goblin.
that's basically what I can
That's
do.
that goblin is scared. This goblin in the melee is like kind of wrapped up in whatever the other 2 hobgoblins are going through, and is going to try some minor bullshit. They're gonna try and load multiple arrows into their bow at once.
All right, Legolas.
See, okay, that's better. I was thinking it was gonna like pull out a grenade and throw it.
First shot misses on
Total
Snow.
War 2 shit.
First shot on Vincent fails, and the shot on Snow fails. So it does launch 3 arrows in one strike. They just kind of like clatter kind of uselessly. They don't have like the momentum properly.
What happens when you fire 3 arrows at once?
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately,
I
they'll
did
never
archery.
get to learn their lesson because you're going to kill them in like a turn or 2.
I have a list.
Oh no, not Pete.
Yep.
Pete will be fine.
They
He still
drop
has 10
their sword. They drop their bow and they take up their sword and they go for Peep. And your AC is like 17. Yeah, it's
16.
It's 16. Just one of those things you can easily parry and deflect of strike. Actually shows how far you've come. Yeah. Snow.
Snow is finally gonna be able to reach them with his greatsword. So
Oh,
he's gonna
that
run up to this one.
Yes. And they want it. You know, they will even actually say in common, like, yes, come on, fight me.
You know what? He's pissed. Snow has a history with not just goblinoids, but specifically offshoots of this same group, or whatever. And so he is going to reckless attack. He really wants to see this guy dead. So let's see if I can actually hit something.
That's massive damage. It's one of those things where it's like you because it's reckless. It's not like a clean hit to like the neck or something. It's like a messy strike to the chest. It splinters their armor, and maybe even like think it's a killing blow, and then somehow the goblin just kind of like pushes back up and keeps fighting. Blood just seeping from the wound.
Alright. Yeah, and that's all I got.
Vincent.
All right. Vincent's getting a little frustrated that Snow took off without him. Is going to move up next to him and protect his side from this other goblin that's viewing him there. And as he takes his place next to him, he'll just reach out and kind of like brush up against him with his elbow on the shield arm and let go of lay on hands, and I'll heal him for 10.
Nice.
And then I will ready my shield for any incoming assaults towards myself, or I guess Snow.
Sabriel, what war crimes do you want to do on your turn?
Somewhere in the city, Balord's just like, Sabriel's doing things.
I was gonna say, it's not war crimes if your species wrote the book on war.
Oh.
One sec. Streams kind of crashed for a sec. Alert! Alert! Alright, one sec. Oh, damn.
just like funny the different things it puts in for Sabriel.
Called you eyebrows when I was reading it when my internet went down.
It just called him
Which
supper.
I find really funny.
Calling him supper is funny because there's a few people that would probably
Oi.
call him that.
Just because my internet went down doesn't mean that Sabriel has to go down on anyone. Anyway. It's still down! It's still a little fucky. But we can at least finish the combat and then maybe go on a break. Thanks for standing by. So, what are you doing, Sabriel?
Same thing I've been doing all day until it no longer works.
So you run out of juice. Who on?
The one that is not being engaged right now. This one. Oh god.
You say you were going to keep doing it till it no longer works. Hand reach out. Snow.
He accidentally hit Snow and he disintegrates.
He's dead.
I don't know
instantly.
that would be an accident. I think that would be his friends redirecting the spell.
It's the end game. Sabriel's the one that's going to betray you all in the end game, not Grimwald.
Oh,
Grimwald's going to be the one being like, I trusted you.
no.
Listen, Sabriel is 900 years old. He's gonna go crazy at some point.
Goblins. Hobgoblin fighting Snow. Surviving a clearly mortal wound. You can basically see blood and air being sucked into their throat cavity. But they are still going to push forward and make an attack against Snow, and it is going to hit. They are using a longsword with both hands. It is only going to be 4 slashing damage.
Right, which becomes 2.
And this one is going to shoot at Sabriel. What's the range? Are they in range? I think they're in range. They can move to be in range. What's your AC, Sabriel? It's more than I
15.
think they have. Yeah. Just barely. Peep. You're here with the... Peep's on the hill with the goblins.
Let's take a swing at this one. Come on.
That is a miss.
Rolling poopy. Stinky dice.
Yeah. What about the goblin on the counterattack, though? That's a cocked dice. And that is a miss. Severa's like this big... like duel with this goblin on the hill, and neither of you really have the upper hand, but neither of you have the lower hand either. You're both kind of
Evenly
not doing
matched.
amazing. Evenly matched. This goblin is going to do the sneaky whip around, draw their blade, and get behind Snow. And
I'll use my
stab
reaction
him.
to impose disadvantage on that one with my shield.
Ooh, mama. It's still going to be a hit because Snow's AC is non-existent.
Trash. Yeah. Worth a shot.
But
I did everything I could, buddy. Sorry.
It was worth it. It's like one of those things where it's like you throw the shield in a way and the goblin's great knife kind of skids on the edge of the sword and still plunges into Snow's leg anyway.
Yep. All right, how much do I take? Sorry.
That is going to be 6 piercing damage.
All right.
And then it's your turn.
Yeah, Snow is gonna. Oh yeah, technically that should have had advantage too, by the way. But
Hey, forget about it. I did.
So Snow is gonna, seeing that this hobgoblin is clearly just being pushed by adrenaline. He's just gonna do one swing to try and lop its head off so that it can't fight anymore. He's not gonna reckless attack this time, just normal. Let's see.
Yep.
Okay. There. Lops the head off.
Flicks the head off.
And then he turns and just looks at the goblin.
The goblin does immediately
Yeah. That'll be it for me.
Vincent.
I am going to move up to this goblin and just kind of try to shove him with my shield there,
Yeah.
away from Snow.
Is a contested athletics.
Indeed.
Oh, it's not a bad roll. You'd rolled way better in every way.
So I'll push him 5 feet away and I'll follow up and then stab at him with my longsword.
Cool. So like down there and you follow, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
A lot of ones. A lot of
ones.
Loads of ones. Loads of ones.
Roll 20 giveth and it taketh away.
It's one of those things where like you kind of shove it and you go to use its momentum, but you forget. Goblins are incredibly used to being shoved. So it very quickly kind of gets its footing again and kind of like shinks out of the way. You cut some of its hair off, but not actually the goblin itself.
And I'll just step in between him and Snow and kind of put my shield between us.
Nice. Sabriel.
You know, I lied when I said I wasn't going to do it again. Sabriel likes the spot he's at right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is really Sabriel's core position. Back of the combat, casting long-range spells on a horse.
No. He is
That's
not.
a miss.
He had a few good rounds.
This one, at least, it's like, it kind of hits the goblin, but kind of like in the legs and stuff, so it doesn't generate enough like heat to do a killing blow, you know? It's at least more respectable.
No, you know what? I like the spot I'm at. He's just gonna stay. Let him come to me. That's fine.
That hobgoblin is going to shoot you with a crossbow.
That's okay.
They're gonna hit.
That's okay.
It's going to be 6 piercing damage.
Oh no.
Sorry, I mean, I'd like some seriousness in the role playing here. I mean, that is a deathly wound.
Sabriel just like it hits his armor and he just like looks down at it.
Peep.
Swing.
You got it, Pete.
That is a hit and a kill.
Nice.
No,
Just
come
straight
back.
through the heart. Just like parry the last blow and then. Poof.
Goblin dies down into the snow. But there is one little goblin remaining. Well, do you want to run around first, Peep? You want to do a little run around?
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
just gonna chill on the hill.
Let's see. Where is that last little one? Or is it just the hobgoblin?
Behind Vincent. There's a little goblin behind Vincent.
Oh, yes,
so it's
okay,
a
I
little
see
ways
it.
away.
1, 2, 3. That's 15, 25, 30.
This goblin is going to disengage and start running. Unfortunately, they start running past Peep because it's literally in the way. So you do get an opportunity attack against the goblin.
But
Actually-
line in with the. Oh,
You actually don't. It would have been a miss
Oh.
anyway. Because I always forget
Okay.
the disengage is actually for the whole turn,
But,
not
it's for
just the first movement.
Ah.
I always forget that, even though it's changes the game. Yeah. So it's one of those things like you'd probably do swing at it, and it's just like
yeah.
running as they kind of stumble on all fours. Sometimes like that goblin is out.
I'm running
Snow.
down.
He's maybe out. He may be out, but Snow's gonna chase it. So one,
They
2,
always
3,
bring me back in.
4, 5, 6, and then my extra 15. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to fling a. Oh, it's still not close. I'm gonna fling a hand axe at it with disadvantage. Okay. Let's see.
Dual 20s. Let's go. Almost.
It's a miss. At least this one is just like into the snow.
Yep.
It does make the goblin go like "Ah!" and like stumbles onto all fours and kind of half digs in the snow as it's running.
All right, and that's it for Snow.
Vincent, there is one hobgoblin remaining and one goblin remaining. The goblin is running. The hobgoblin is still firing at Sabriel, still reloading, you know, not looking to retreat right now. You are muted.
I will charge the energy up in my shield and fling a guiding bolt at the hobgoblin that's firing at Sabriel. Somehow, somewhere. Where's my...
Somehow, somewhere. Don't remember the next line. I know I should. That is a hit and a kill. It's blindsided.
There's this spectral kind of pearlescent dragon flies off the shield and launches into the burns them from the inside out.
Yes.
This goblin's so focused on vengeance on Sabriel for dusting 3 of his friends.
This is why you have 2
God.
casters that can do guiding bolt.
Reduced to atoms.
Literally reduced to atoms.
There's not even like, there's just a scorch mark in this.
Just change
There
their
is,
state
it's
of
just
matter
like-
completely.
If I could put it on the map, there's like a cone of blood, just where the disintegrations happen. Sabriel, do you want to do anything against that little goblin running away, or do you just want to let the others deal with it?
Which one is it? Which
There's
one's
only
keeping,
one-
Which one's the goblin? I'm zoomed out.
Sabriel, get your driving glasses on. And
Is that one, right?
this
Without
one's the goblin,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm zoomed out so I could see it.
I know, I believe it. It's just funny. In fact, there's actually shit in the way on the screen. There's dice.
Well, I cleared the dice off of mine. All right.
Yeah.
How far away? How far away are you? Does
That's like,
Sabriel want
what,
to be extra?
40 feet? 60 feet?
It is 40 feet, and I can move 60 feet on my horse. You know what? Sabriel's gonna.
I'm gonna ride
pull out
up
his
and...
sword.
Oh, I
He's
see.
gonna pull him sword. Where's my sword? There it is.
It is a hit, but it's not a kill. That
I
goblin...
got the extra damage too.
that extra damage is literally the added factor. It's like one of those things where, you know, it's just like a... on like the back of the goblin's neck as it's running away, like the force of the flashing blade just brings it to the ground. And as the blood steams on the snow, we can finally take that break. So we'll be back in a bit.
Nice.
I've been abandoned.
We're back. Hello.
We were talking about pigs eating bodies. So.
It works.
And Snatch, the film.
I mean,
Well, I mean, it makes sense to talk about disgusting things because you're in a disgusting battlefield right now, absolutely destroying the hobgoblins
blood
after that
everywhere.
ambush. Snow taking a lot of punishment during that,
Yeah.
but surviving it. What
How
is it you
do,
guys want to do?
How do my comrades look? Still pretty injured?
Yes.
It's
Quite
a little
injured.
toasted, but generally okay.
I will heal Snow for 5, and I'm going to save the rest of mine.
Okay.
Just in case we need to get anybody up.
Yeah. That sounds good.
I have 2 spell slots left.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Snow looks hurt, but he can take a good bit of punishment, especially if he's raging. Although that doesn't help with if it gets fire blasted again, it won't help with that. But
We've been traveling for a while. If we'd like to stop and take a minute to eat some lunch or whatever we can, or dinner, whatever, wherever we're at in the
What
day.
time of day is it?
It's probably like 2 p.m. Late lunch.
We can stop
Time to bed.
and grab a short rest here. And
I mean, that would work.
Yeah.
I mean, the only problem is if they're. And so would point this out. You might say like, what if there's like a scouting party that they sent out that might come back? But
I mean, we'll be ready if they come back.
We're only here for like an hour. Should be okay.
okay, yeah. And I guess we can also loot their tents and stuff while we're resting. So
Looting.
yeah.
Vincent will go start gathering the bodies, and we'll start preparing them for burial.
Yeah,
And I'll
there
pull out my
are
shovel
remaining bodies, Ori. There's some.
Right, whatever's left.
Yeah.
And wherever the ones that died that isn't a body left, he'll still go over and do sort of a prayer over their fallen corpse, or what was left of it.
Okay. Do you want to take any stuff off them while you're doing that, or just kind of bury them as is?
I mean, I'll take anything that would be of use. I'm not going to take anything that seems special to them, anything of personal adornment, but anything that like any gold or anything like that's just going to be buried or lost, I will disperse that amongst the group.
What about the wizard's spellbook?
I will.
Very personal.
I'm gonna ask.
But very
I'm actually. I'm. Vincent swallows his pride, and he is going to go talk to the skeleton.
Okay.
Mhm. Grimwald, who was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Grimwald, I
Yes.
am not as knowledgeable about such things as. And I'll gesture towards the spellbook on the ground. Would this be considered something personal and private to them?
Not to a goblin wizard. No, they are mass-produced.
Do I believe him?
You can do an insight roll, though there's not much to look at to tell. But yes.
You want me? I can do a disadvantage if you'd like.
No, just do it. Go ahead.
Okay. Of course. Okay.
Jeez. Yeah.
Oh, all right then. I don't think I have any use for such an item. Would you?
He'll reach out a hand for it, and step over. Not to say I'll take it, but he wants to have a look at it first at least. And he will kind of look at it and the symbols in it. And what languages do you read, Vincent?
Common and Elvish.
Yeah. He does kind of look it through and I don't read the script this spellbook is written in. Makes it not entirely useful for me, but it is a useful thing to keep hold of. These goblin wizards, they study a lot of offensive magic and they share spells amongst each other. Could be useful, could be sold. Could be worth something.
All right. Well, do we have anything that we can store this in? I don't feel right about just leaving it sitting out, but
Put it in a bag of holding.
that's my best suggestion. If nobody has anything better than that.
What's it written in? Like what language?
What languages do you read?
Many. Giant, Dwarvish, Celestial, Elvish, Common.
It's not a script that you read. It's not even not a script, not even a language, but not even a script. Because of course scripts are spec. Yeah.
I'm guessing Pete cannot read it in Common or Draconic.
People can read it. You know, if you kind of put your nose up, the spellbook is written in Draconic.
Wait, hold on a second. I can eat. He's reaching up for it.
Grim will like
hold it.
lower.
I'll
Both of you
lower
do.
it down.
You're holding one side each.
Okay. Okay. Pete just wherever like the top of the page is, Pete's just gonna like read it out.
Oh, this one says power
so-
word kill, and then
Well,
still
So
Kill.
of course the case of the spellbooks, and Grim would even probably be about to explain this, is that like the reason why this is in Draconic is, of course, when you're scribing arcane spells, the words have power to help you channel, the energies of the arcane, and Common and Goblin are shit languages to do that in, for whatever reason. So Draconic is a much better language for scribing the arcane, but also for scribing the notes that might be of use for other spells. That said, the words and the sentences are typically gibberish, other than those designed for learning and scribing and explaining. It does. The first bit you'd read, because it's some of the first pages that they have open, does talk of. It reads that this spell of mine was taught by the great pyromancer Wyrex at the Far Isle to the north. And it has a bit of a... You actually realize that the symbolism is a draconic way of writing directions for creatures that can either fly or tunnel. The way dragons write directions is very different to a island off the coast of Oakenfur. To the north, actually. It would be off the north coast.
Are you sharing that information, or?
Yeah,
Like,
people's
I'll
just
read it
reading
out.
that out loud. And then
Okay.
once you keep reading, it's like the words that are in the spell to summon him. And it's like the same words that she would have said when she was doing Burning Hands, right? So they are words, but it's like... The reason why Common is horrible is that what words do you have? Alakazam. That's not a very good word for word. It's like things like that. So it's like, there are words and there are notes, but you probably realize quite soon it's like, it's essentially gibberish without actually understanding wizardry. Language is only half of it. But
when Pete reads out the part about Pyromancer Wyrex, his face turns sour. And he would, you'd wait, but then he'd say, "This is an evil book."
How come?
It's been used for evil.
That makes the book evil?
there's no evil in magic. Especially the arcane.
The Pyromancer. Wyrex. I know their name. Their
Oh.
magics have been used for evil. I suspect the same magics that, and he points to his like burned, his singed, like chest or arms. I don't know.
If those same magics were used for good, would the book still be evil?
Mm.
Several's just sitting like.
Snow is
watching
like.
I mean, I have no
uh,
idea. I'm just literally asking. I do not know anything about what we're talking about. I'm just curious now.
So it's like I suppose it could be used for good, but I've only known the works of Pyromancer Wyrex to bring destruction.
This is violent magic. It's a tool, like any other. Like a sword. A sword is a violent tool.
I would also like to add that sometimes fire can bring new life behind it. So it's not necessarily also just a destructive thing. He's mentally adding the word child to the end of that sentence, but he's not saying it out loud.
Yeah, Snow is just pondering this and not really saying anything.
Perhaps we can keep a hold of the spell book and make decisions on it later.
If we
Yes,
find- Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
If we find more like it, we should take them from those who mean to do evil.
Grimwald will give, a hearty nod at that.
Yeah.
There are more goblins like this. I heard of them in Slate Cove. And I imagine the people who live here would know even more. And Grim will at that point, put the book into the bag of holding, which I think is on Snow. So it's like...
Better to you to safeguard this item against those who would use it for evil.
Snow would nod to that. I'll add that to the book of holdings.
And I'll watch your back for as long as you have to carry it.
All right. On to the other absent looting. Question?
Yeah.
Statement?
Sabrel's going to be looking for something specific in this camp because clearly they were set up to ambush passersby. So he's going to look for any sort of orders or, that sort of like messages, maps, that sort of thing that might give ideas to maybe further down the road.
Give me a investigation check.
I can't read. I have forgotten how to read.
That's not very useful on an investigation check. So this is an interesting... You would be getting a lot of this almost passively from just being a commander yourself, Sabriel. And actually having fought hobgoblins on many occasions. This was part of an organized army in the past. It reeks of when a powerful army splinters, either into renegades or outcasts or whatever, and just small chunks get split all over the place. So there are notes, but none of these goblins were specifically a commander. So there are notes of them trying to check places where there would be, drops of information, caches of what to do next. They've listed them and crossed them out. There are old schedules that are gone because hobgoblins are very mathematically minded people. It's why they are excellent mercenaries and excellent soldiers. They can calculate, the angle they need for a crossbow bolt effortlessly. They love schedules. and things like that. So all of that is written and it has really good records. It's not like they've burnt them or anything. So they have this older stuff, but this has been a small group on the road for a long time, probably fractured from an even larger group, but you would reckon that there are remnants of this group, the Hobgoblin Warcalled, probably tied to many commanding goblins at this point, just splintered across the country. It does make it clear that they are not going to be getting any support. You're like, oh, there might be another scout coming. No, they're on their own. They might have like met back up with other splinters and maybe work with them, but at the same time, once they start splintering, they start disagreeing and biting amongst themselves, and without a unifying force, there's not much really to be done with it.
Okay.
When it comes to loot, if any of you need arrows, Hobgoblin arrows are of a pretty fine quality, although some of these have clearly been, a large number of them have clearly been used in combat before and recovered. So they're not like freshly hewn or anything, fletched. There is 60 gold altogether in just coin that the goblins have on them, or in the camp, or in the smoldering craters left by Sabriel.
Like we could just split that 4 ways, I guess. Grim doesn't get any.
Yeah, that's fine.
Several, yeah, I mean...
He has no need
yeah,
for
several
gold. He's a
doesn't-
skelly man.
The Sabriel saying no,
Sabriel's-
and that you do 20 each to the other 3.
Yeah, I'll let... He doesn't really need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Sabriel's also been paying for Grimm's everything, because he's his new pet, apparently, and his husband wants to examine it, so...
Are there any? Do there happen to be any javelins or hand axes?
They
I'm
aren't
running
javelin
low.
or hand axe soldiers. There's crossbows and great long swords and short swords and spears.
Are you weaponless right now?
No, I mean I have 1 javelin and 1 hand axe left.
Because Sabriel has a spear, so if you're like weaponless... he
Can I, after finishing with the burials, can I grab my javelins? Can I re-get them?
Yeah, yours are fine.
I mean, I can use like you can throw spears too, right? Can't you?
I believe so. Yeah, I think spears have
They're
its own
just-
property.
I'll take a spear, I guess. Sure.
Is there one laying around, or does he need Sabriel's?
No, there's like 1 or 2 in the camp.
Okay.
I'll grab a spear then.
There's some are being used to basically hold up the tents because they're worn. You know, these tents were made years ago. They're still being used on the road all the time. So, like, one of them is being used as a tent spoke, and you can like...
I also have something I want to do during the rest.
Sure.
So, like a couple days before in game, I had used my speak with animals ritual
Oh, no.
thing I can do, but I realized that I misread. I actually get 2 things I can do, and so he's gonna experiment with the other one. So he's gonna ask Sabriel if he can borrow Not Zelius.
Why?
I wish to commune with him.
Are you a druid?
He shrugs and he's like, the people that raised me are very in tune with nature. Maybe you call them druids, but it's just the way of my people.
Sabriel being so used to regular Zelius, right? He's gonna just look at you and be like, don't give him any ideas, but sure. Like, he's used to his own spicy horse who has a mind of his own.
So he's gonna lead Not Zelius over just to the center of the camp and like put
You
his
gonna
hand.
offer up my horse?
No, he's gonna be fine. So Snow puts his hand on like the nose of the horse, you know, and then just starts like chanting a ritual, I guess. And 10 minutes later,
He's watching, by the way.
10 minutes later, Snow looks around, so he says the last line, and then his eyes roll back into his head. And then he's seeing through the horse's eyes now.
So, like, you finish the ritual, Snow's eyes roll back, probably falls into the snow. And now you're able to, can you move through?
No, okay.
So you can see through, not Zelius.
He just sees not Zelius, just looking at Sepriel with adoration.
No, so it's the spell Beast Sense, which it says you touch a willing beast for the duration of the spell, which is up to 1 hour, by the way. You can use your action to see through the beast's eyes and hear what it hears, and continue to do so until you use your action to return to your normal senses. So I don't control it. So like whatever it does, like maybe it like sniffs me, and I would be sniffing myself.
Sniffing yourself. Yeah. Yeah, you just get all of the horse's senses for a bit. But have no control. You're just like having a camera.
Yeah. So he's just gonna do that for a minute or two and see what the horse does. Zelius is not really shocked or phased. And it's just kind of like looks at you for a bit, but then it's clear that Snow is warging right now, so Snow can't react. So just kind of like trots back to Sabriel.
Pats him
The
gently
funny
on
thing
the
is,
head.
I think Snow can still speak. It's just that
Yeah.
So Snow is like, he's like laying in the snow, and his eyes are rolled back, and he's like, oh, Sabriel, hello.
This is what being pet feels like.
I'll lean in to peep. I don't get it. Do you?
I have no idea what's going on, and it's kind of scaring me.
A little bit too. Yeah. Okay.
Sabriel's just like deadpan, like.
Yeah, and then he'll stop doing it and stop fucking around. but Snow would stop and say, "Thank you. That was an interesting experience."
He's just like,
What?
right.
What was an interesting experience?
Sabriel's just like, right. I'm gonna keep. Starts working on his toy again.
Oh, okay. Yep.
You can explain yourself to Vincent, or just be like, man.
Yeah. So explain it. He's like, I remembered a ritual of my people, and I've been practicing it for many years, but recently I feel like something has changed, and I've finally been able to actually commune with the animals like many of my people do.
Oh. That is interesting.
I don't know if that actually fits with the lore. But okay.
He leveled up.
Yeah.
Technically I've had this for a full level, I just forgot to use that one.
That counts.
Yeah.
Okay. The winds are starting to kick back up. The sky is already starting to darken. It's the middle of winter.
So I should roll my hit dice, right?
Yeah, if you're taking short rest is done, so hit dice, smoke them if you got them.
11. Nice! Exactly what I took.
I just needed exactly 6. It was great.
Wow! I mean, you can't roll for shit today, but aside from hit dice, I guess.
Oh, also during that short rest, there's a fire, right? There was a fire that was burning.
It's very cold. I imagine you would have lit a fire even for a short rest.
Okay, yeah. People take the suspiciously warm rock and place it next to the fire, just like on the edge, like where there's like a ring of stones, just like on top of one of it, and just sort of, leave it there for the duration.
It gets nice and kind of glowy with a very subtle orange, and it is warmer when you eventually pick it back up and head to leave. And that warmth kind of stays with it for a while. It eventually cools down, but it's still warm. It's like a small candle in your pocket at all times, but it holds the heat for a little bit. pleasant,
Nice.
lovely, not suspicious.
We're
I did.
getting
I actually
trapped
haven't
by
read.
this rock.
I have it written down as suspiciously warm stone in my inventory.
Everything is
Forbidden
suspicious.
I mean, you all didn't even trust a woman with a baby. I mean, come on.
Listen, Sabrel and Vincent been around too long.
I didn't expect to get you on that one. But the goblins did.
That's the red herring. He wants us looking at that one.
You'll never look at the mule.
Oh no.
So, with
Trees
daylight
start speaking
disappearing. With daylight disappearing, it makes sense to get moving again.
Yes, let's push onward.
As you are continuing forward, the wind and snow makes it slow travels. I mean, it was earlier as well. And it's starting to get a little more foresty, as well as a little more rocky as well. There's a lot more situations where you have to, like, really twist the route because of rock falls or the rocky hills themselves. The areas to the east of the road are becoming increasingly larger pockets of forest, often with carved symbols in the bark of the trees. When it comes to camping tonight, it is going to be frigid. Camping out in the wilds, like you have been doing, will be very dangerous. Even traveling later into the night. There is a cave pass that appears to go further north. Like, could either be used as a camp or even just a shortcut to recuperate. As well as, of course, being the actual forest itself, which will provide some protection from the cold, because at least the cold wind will be dispersed a bit more. Or you can just kind of have some kind of scheme for camping out in the snow to stay warm. What's kind of your plan?
I think the cave's probably the best idea.
Yeah.
At least the camp in it, but we should
Yeah.
check it first.
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds good to me. To the cave.
Okay. There is... You can approach the lip of the cave and start heading inside. It's just about wide enough for you to fit the... Actually, it's easily wide enough for you to fit the cart in. Although, of course, the mule is quite hesitant. You probably don't, lead with the mule directly behind you, so you want to kind of take a peek.
As we approach the mouth of that cave, I'm gonna just cast my divine sense across it and see if I sense any celestial fiends or undead within 60 feet.
I don't think you do. Celestial fiends are undead, you say?
Yes.
Surely
Besides
not.
Grimwald, obviously.
Yeah.
Such Grim and Sabriel as usual.
Yeah, you don't sense anything. It's
Okay.
It's out of the way of you feel the flow of air kind of into the mouth of the cave and not much else.
Nothing desecrated or evil leaping out at me here.
We should probably at least go in and look and make sure there's not something sleeping and or hiding in there before we decide to make camp in something's house. Like a
Agreed.
bear. Or worse.
Send in the skeletal bear.
Send in the dead bear.
Send in the bears!
I'll draw my long sword and shield and just
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sabriel
draws
will
his
have
great
him sword out.
take
Yeah.
point.
Okay. You tread through, and it doesn't seem like this is a very deep cavern, which makes it an excellent shortcut. You do notice as you're going through, and at first it's kind of there's the snow and ice that's blown in, and then it's just stone, and then kind of areas of suspiciously kind of smooth and slick stone, almost like masonry. And then there's a pillar that, while it isn't natural rock at all, it's as you kind of move in more, and would you have a torch for those that can't see in the dark? I mean, it's dark.
Yeah.
Yes, because I can't see in the dark.
Yeah,
So
I can't either.
instead of having the
Cast
long
light
sword.
on Vincent's sword.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that'll work. Cool.
As you are trekking inwards, you see the reflection of metal. A pair of sitting metal figures, like statues. But the details are both too broad and too minute to be that of a regular statue.
Do you guys see those?
Yes.
How big are they?
They are roughly the size of a human, a little shorter. They are sitting, but not in a way, they're not like sitting with their they're kind of like sitting in like a crouch, right? Like the battle droids, I guess, from Star Wars, where it's like they're just kind of in this like folded position. There's two, and then kind of as you're looking, you actually see another one a little further in. That one's not sitting, it's kind of like essentially leaning face forward into the cave wall.
So the first two are next to like a column or pillar? Or
Yeah.
something? Okay.
Should do we have anything that we can send up to take a look at it quietly?
Grimald.
How
No, I'm
far
not.
away are we?
I mean, with your light, you're probably around 30 feet away. So you can see them, those with dark vision can see them quite clearly. Those using the light on Vincent's sword, you're seeing it in the dim glow. The metal is reflecting light in interesting ways. It's kind of an orangish metal, but there are areas that have rusted as well, so the light doesn't reflect from them. It makes a kind of interesting pattern, and the light is kind of like cast into the walls a little bit.
Can I have? Cause my friends are what, 15 feet or 30 feet?
You tell me.
I don't remember. 15 feet. Sabriel, how stealthy or not? So Sabriel's going to ask his friends to take a look, but he's gonna have to move up. So, I need to make a stealth check?
If you want to do so
Or-
stealthily,
Yes.
make a stealth check.
Oh, I fucked it up.
Oh
Well,
no.
no one else can see my friends. He's not like making his friends visible. They just see me. So my friends are fine.
You go up close to close enough that you can. The aura of the dead of your ancestors can kind of go close and start to examine, and you kind of ask politely for them to examine these statues, and they do with curious eyes. And that's when you see actually the kind of glass eye plates of one start to light up, and there's kind of the click 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 hiss of gas being lit, and then their eyes kind of light up just enough, and you kind of hear at first the whirring spinning of kind of like a vinyl disc, and then the clicking, grinding, moving of clockwork machinations inside it. and when the first one starts kind of whirring and warming up, that's when the other two do as well. But the first one is a lot more
It's a friend.
noticeable, and it does kind of like click, 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 turn its head, and it's kind of a whole design is almost like that of a. It's almost got like a kind of a guardsman's helmet. It's kind of like a kind of peaked thing, and it will kind of reach almost into itself and pull out a kind of pike-like weapon that kind of snaps into place and will quite awkwardly point it at you. It's like the limb isn't quite pointing exactly where it wants to. But it will be a... You know what? Wicked quick break, and then we'll go to a battle map.
Nice.
Savro's gonna get home to Cal, right? And he's gonna have like a kobold son. He's going to have a skeleton pet and like 5 clockwork pets, and then whatever else he decides to bring home.
Oh, and by the way, there's a big dragon lady.
Yeah, and there's a big dragon lady that he promised he would go back and see.
All right, we'll be back in like a couple of minutes. Wrong screen. Let's go to the real battlefield. Real battlefield,
Indubitably.
USA.
There's probably a place named that, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's this country. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
All right. Roll some initiative.
Okay.
Oof.
Okay, Sabriel, that's good.
That is good. I mean, you were the one closest to the danger. The other lot probably were like, what is Sabriel doing? Sabriel's like crouch walking up close. And then you
Well,
see the little
Sabriel's
eye
15
thing
feet
go
away.
bzing. 15 feet.
Sabriel,
That's within restraining order distance.
Meanwhile, Vince is back there just Samuel, Samuel.
actually, it's not.
I forget that you have approximate knowledge of all things. Okay, so yeah, like they have a really shitty initiative because they're warming up, right? You hear like the grinding and the moving, and they're literally warming up. Like the pilot lights in them are kind of turning on and moving. And this token for them is a very different design for a very similar creature. These are a little more. They would have been ornate, but parts are kind of fallen off, and gears are in the wrong place. But you do have the first action.
I have
What'd
a
you like to do?
question. Does this architecture look like it belongs to any specific like culture or race?
That's a history check.
My character sheet won't close.
It might be racist to assume, but often the creators of clockwork contraptions are gnomes. And there was a gnomish kingdom in this country. And that gnomish kingdom fell, and they sort of scattered and made tiny enclaves. And sometimes the machines get lost. It's usually an older thing. Like older, like fallen gnomish kingdoms have kind of made them rather than newfangled ones. But, you know, takes all strokes. These definitely seem gnomish, but they don't look like gnomes, right? They are like guard or soldiers for gnomes, but the craftsmanship looks vaguely gnomish. And it's kind of hard to tell if they're sentient. You do know that gnomes have made sentient clockwork shells before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would it be an action to try and speak to them, or can I have my sword out, like, ready to attack if diplomacy fails?
You can have your sword out. Yeah. Yeah, it would be an action if you really want to lean into diplomacy here.
Because we kind of did walk into their house.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it doesn't look like they were doing anything with the place.
well, listen, he knows he would sit in his house and not move for 100 years if someone didn't make him move, so...
That's very true.
He's gonna have his sword out, and he's gonna try the friendship tactic first, the diplomacy tactic first. He's just gonna hold it one hand up with the sword in like a non-aggressive position. If you can hold a sword in a non-aggressive position. We're not here to fight. We did not mean to intrude upon your place.
Is that what you want to go with?
That's what he's starting with first.
Give me a persuasion roll.
He's much more eloquent than Ori is.
That's true. Yeah.
Ori's dumb. Sabril is much smarter than me.
Oh! You do, So the one that you woke up first, actually, now that you're looking at it with the light of, like, the sword proper, the one that was waking up first actually has a slightly different design. There's a lot more golden elements, or at least, like, tiny little gold plates and things, like the helmet and the armor design and things. And that one does kind of... It has a slight look of realization. There are very finite, like, kind of plates that can move around the eyes to mimic emotion. And it does kind of, like, essentially kind of narrow the light coming out of the eyes for a moment. And there is a clicking and whirring noise that comes from it that is probably a language shared between the clockwork automatons. But it doesn't actually respond to you. And they are still readying their weapons, but they're still, like, getting up and pulling their weapons and kind of clicking into place right now.
He's not gonna move any closer. But he's not gonna attack it right now.
Peep.
Sabril's not moving closer, but Peep is. And that'll be then my turn. Actually, I'm gonna take the dodge action.
That's smart. Snow.
He's gonna move up to here, and I would say he has this greatsword out, and he's gonna prepare an action. If one of them attacks Sabrail or Peep, and he can actually reach them, he's gonna hit them.
Your reach would never hit anyone attacking them unless they went around Peep.
Oh, yeah, because I can't... Oh, you're right. Okay, he'll pull out his new spear and throw it if one of them hits.
Okay.
Alright.
This one is the Goldie one, by the way. The golden boy. and it will kind of, with its other hand, kind of do like a... And this one will kind of step forward and kind of stop. There's like a... And it will jab with the pike at Peep with disadvantage, which is a good move because it made it a big old miss. You know, you can kind of like move the thing out of the way, which really does kind of throw the balance off, and it would trigger your spear throw.
Spear. Yeah. Let's see.
Oh. Yeah, it's like it stabs the thing. People can kind of move it off balance, and just like you jam a spear inside it, and you just hear like a as like it gums up some kind of internal mechanism, and it does kind of like snaps the spear to kind of fix its you know whatever
spear.
was jammed shut.
You can't keep all the weapons.
Alright, deleting spear.
Take Sabriel's spear. Just take it.
The clockwork automaton walks up, and it does walk up. It's moving quite slowly, but with the pike in almost like a defensive position, but almost like how you would have there's a defensive guard with a greatsword where you hold it like straight up and you can deflect things. And as it moves up, and then it kind of spreads its arms to the side, and its chest kind of like cracks open, and the net launches onto Sabriel. It's a really old net. It's not quite as impressive as it probably was. Yeah, exactly. You are restrained, I guess? Yeah, you are restrained. It's got a really big stat block for it. You shoot a net at it. So you have been netted. And the net is like still like attached with a cable to the automaton's chest, and then the other ones will.
Where's my horse?
Outside.
Okay.
That's Elias's.
And this one here will like ready the spear. Kind of like in a scanning position. Vincent. The automaton are attacking.
I'm gonna move here. And I will attack the one that's there next to Snow.
Yeah, you need to scooch further, but that's fine.
Actually, I'm not going to attack. Instead, I'm going to move there so I can be within 5 feet of Snow, and then kind of drawing his attention. But I'm going to reach out and I'm going to cast Bless on Snow, Sabriel, and Peep.
Nice. Is that the one where you get a D4 to add to things? I can't
To attack rolls and saving throws.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Sabriel, you are in a net.
Mm-hmm. Do these
You're
count as
restrained.
creature?
Yeah, it's a creature. It's a construct, but it's a creature.
Okay. We're not playing nice anymore. Well, he didn't try to hurt me. He just tried to catch me.
Yes.
Do we still want to go diplomacy, Sabriel?
You are currently in a net. And one did try to stab Pete, but it didn't do very well. They received a spear for his troubles. But then it broke the spear. Yeah, and even, like, got it past his warranty date.
I'm just trying to decide if I want to use command on it. Yeah, Sabriel's gonna use command, and I have to use it at 2nd level because I have no 1st level spell slots left, which means I can do it on 2 of them. So the one that's got me in a net, and the one that's attacking Peep is the targets for this command, and he's just going to try to command them to just stand down.
Go ahead and click it.
Stand
I need to
down.
read a lot of. I need to do the DM read.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think this is the one that you can only do one word commands.
Yeah, well,
Well-
it's a singular concept, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, whatever the singular word for stand down.
It could be like pacify. Be like,
Yeah, it definitely it does work. You are still in a net.
That's fine.
But they do kind of like it. You know, as you say that with magic in your voice, it clearly kind of resonates with them in some way, and they do kind of like step back with their pikes in a kind of like military parade position. But you know that's only going to last for so long till they
And it's
return.
an action to try and get out of the net.
Yeah, so you just use your action.
That's
and
fine. I just wanted them to stop.
Yeah, well, it stops them for a round.
Yep.
So beep.
All right.
And you would have advantage to attack those two because they are not like retaliating right now.
And a
Uh,
D4.
And a D4.
And a D4.
The one that's got Sabriel in the net, I'm gonna go for that one. And showing.
Your sword
That-
strikes it, but it is made of tougher stuff than that.
I'll need a D4 then. 16.
That is a hit.
Nice.
Do you want to attack the creature, or do you want to attack the cable holding the net in place?
Go for the cable.
Aw.
It kind of like
Loves me.
the almost pressurized elements retract, and it kind of falls to the ground almost like a tendril, and Sabriel is freed from the net.
Thank you, Peep.
Snow.
I don't remember. I apologize. Do we have flanking rules
Yeah.
apply? I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah.
I apologize, because in like my games I run, then sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. But I guess I'll try to move here. And would that be flanking that one with Vincent?
It
then?
would be flanking the one with Vincent, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I will do that. Okay. And try to whack it with the greatsword. I guess, yeah, he's gonna rage as well. So entering a cold fury.
Time to smash the toys.
Okay.
It's a hit. It's high damage.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of slam the sword into the thing, and it like partly cuts in, but also just crumples like a big chunk of like the tin exterior and into it.
Okay. That's it for me.
That automaton is immediately gonna like, and the eye, like little like lenses on the eyes will flick to red. You can like see them move,
Terminator time.
and it does actually say something. It just says something in Gnomish, so you don't understand it.
Unfortunately, I'm getting flanked too.
You are.
I flanked myself.
I flanked my pants. It's gonna be a hit.
Flanked.
Okay.
It's going to be 6 slashing damage, and then the one behind you is going to do is going to shove you, actually. So give me a athletics check.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay.
It's actually not far off from what they got, but like it's like it kind of, and it's clearly trying to like get you down onto the ground, but you can just kind of like push back against it. And the other two are currently standing down. Vincent.
This time I will swing at the one that's between me and Snow.
You'd have advantage. It's a hit. It's good damage.
I will go ahead and pump a smite into it.
Yes.
So that's 2d8.
It's not enough to bring the automaton down completely, but it is enough to kind of start slowing it down. It really is looking worse for her.
Okay, and I will do my inspiring smite with that, since I'm going to smite him as well. So I'll use my not divine sense, my channel divinity, and do inspiring smite.
Yeah, go ahead and click that, so we know what's up.
Where'd it go? It's the second one there.
Distribute temporary hit points to creatures within you. The total number is 2d8 plus your level in class divided in whichever way you like. And no one has temp HP right now, so you can split it however you want.
So it's 15. I'll do 5 to each of them.
Okay. Cool, so you 3 have 5 extra HP. Temp HP. Sabrael. You can see the kind of like the stance they're in. They're starting to like click out of it, and the gold one will even kind of like turn its head like full 90 degrees to kind of see what happens and turn back to you to kind of get a sense of the situation.
Is it gonna say something, or is it just looking at
Doesn't
me?
seem like it. Yeah, it is definitely watching you.
I'm gonna bring my friends out. For real this time.
Show me your friends.
If it'll go. But so I'm not trying to override the temp HP for the others, so I'm not gonna
It's not gonna
choose I'm not gonna choose to help them right
well,
now, because
in which case you're gonna have to
Vincent
choose
gives
to
them
harm them. You have to do hinder or harm.
I have to?
Yeah. When they start. Oh no, so you may. Never mind. You can just choose to do neither. So
Yeah, he's not gonna have it affect friends yet because Vincent's temp HP gives them more.
Yeah.
But it is gonna hurt the automatons if they keep trying to be aggro on us. I'm trying to decide. I'm wondering if they would know Celestial or Dwarfish.
they've reacted to common. He just didn't reply because you didn't really say much.
Okay. Ori is not wordsing well right now. Sabriel is wordsing well. Can Sabriel, in whatever language he thinks that they understand, ask them to stand down and talk this out rather than fighting?
You can
'Cause
definitely
they clearly
ask that.
seem like they're questioning it.
You're gonna have to tell me which language you say that in. You can't just go which
Common,
one
I
you
guess.
think. Yeah.
Common, I guess.
Give me a persuasion check.
I have bless though, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Does that work for that?
Let me check.
Attack roll or saving throw. So no.
No.
Nope.
And
So,
12 is
12.
still pretty weak. It the gold one will kind of click and whir its mechanisms, and it will reply this time while kind of
Oh, good.
preparing to stab Peep, it looks like.
Repeat.
You speak the halfling tongue that will not dissuade your criminal intentions. And it's kind of like grinds and whirs, says it.
Sabriel just got called a criminal. He's just like low key offended.
They're police robots. And you woke them up from their nap, which is a crime.
Ah, okay, yeah, it is. I'm not
No.
mad.
No, they are clearly like semi-malfunctioning police robots, but that, did respond.
That's all I can do this turn.
Peep.
My friends are out.
All right.
Yeah.
Peep is gonna
It's not their turn yet.
2
Peep
damage.
is going to stab Ziggold in one. Still with advantage because of tactics.
Yes. Good damage. And like the Goldie one is like, you're still criminals, and then like gets stabbed. And that's when the eyes go from yellow to red. Like a big daddy.
I guess that means they're talking them down now.
And that shall be my turn.
Diplomacy has failed.
Negotiations
Also,
were
I was
short.
wrong.
Yeah.
It is 3 points now because my wisdom modifier went up.
Yeah, you take it on their turn. So
No, I know. I just can't count.
Snow will Snow's gonna try to hack this one down, the one between him and Vincent. He's just gonna, seeing how it kind of crumpled the first time, he's not really gonna try to be clean about it, he's just gonna try to bash it basically.
yes.
So
This is a bashing it situation.
there you go.
Yeah. That you bash it to the point where like some core mechanism stops working and you just see like the light flicker out and it just kind of stops
Okay.
and crumples to the ground. It's not like fully broken in pieces or anything, but
And he will turn and then kind of like do like a grunt, like "Hurgh," like at the other ones to try and get their attention.
yeah, the eyes kind of flash red, and there will be kind of, I'm gonna go all the way. There's even like little kind of flashing in the shoulder plates, like police colors, like red and blue. But it's got to like cycle like a little like gel lens over the light source, so you can like hear it spinning and whirring.
That's great. All right, that's it for me though. Yeah.
They're gonna take damage to the elven ancestors flitting through the air, which they can't really react to in any way. So they're gonna try and stab Peep.
Oh no. Not Peep.
It's gonna be a hit on Peep.
Oh,
It's gonna be a whopping 3 damage.
We could take their parts and build a
I
suit
still
for
have 10
Grim.
HP left.
And the other one will also attack Peep, but will miss. You do notice as well, those of you who actually know how to fight with pikes, which would be Sabriel mostly, they're not going for kill shots. Which is partly why they're missing and not doing much damage. And there is also this one back here, which will attack Snow. Actually, it's going to fire the net at you, and it just barely like it doesn't even fit around you completely, but like it does affect large-sized creatures, so it's like kind of like around like your chest and shoulders.
Yeah.
And you are going to be restrained by the police net.
Let's see, the gnomish equivalent of a taser.
It doesn't have a taser in it, but if with the current generation of these, if you're in the city gnome city, Astana, the current generation has taser gauntlets.
Oh shit.
These ones just have nets.
Outdated.
Yeah. The governors of Astana are pretty metal. Okay. Vincent! The one between you and Snow is gone, reduced to scrap.
I'll look down and say, unfortunate casualty. Perhaps we got off on the wrong foot. would it be possible for us to pay a fine since we broke some sort of law here? We didn't intend to. We just intended to get out of the weather. It was very cold outside, and we were looking for a place to rest.
Give me a persuasion roll. That's pretty good. The Goldie construct, that the eyes will flick yellow again, and it will look to you. You hold up like a coin purse.
Yeah, I'm holding my coin purse, jingling some coins.
It will look to the one that's on the ground.
And damages, of course.
Severe property damage detected. Fine of 800 gold pieces. Added to your records, citizen.
Very, very well.
Do you surrender and accept the charges?
Ask what the penalty for our charges is.
What was the initial charge? That's
What's the penalty for the charges?
Death.
There's kind of like you would die. There's kind of like a clicking, and yeah, we've actually mentioned that Vincent has interacted with some like machinery before. Like that's clearly the clicking of like something ain't working, right? It's like when you go to turn your computer on and it goes like, and you're like, oh girl, and it does just kind of sort of flick, and I would actually make a little check on his behalf. There appears to be a graven error.
Perhaps we could look into it and maybe get you fixed.
Give me another persuasion roll.
Did we just get a skeleton pet? Or a robot pet?
You are correct. There is no reason to fight. I will record a fine of 800 gold pieces for appropriate damages on this watchman unit. This will be added to your record. Please state your name, halfling.
Sir Vincent Ananias.
Sir Vincent Ananias. 800 gold pieces fine. Grievous property damage against a watchman. And there will be like a clicking, grinding, and like a ticker tape thing will out. They will stand down. There is no ink in the...
Is there a date I have to pay this by?
God, Vincent's gonna get like a warrant from the robot police because he
We're
didn't
just
pay
like,
his
we're
fucking
gonna
ticket.
make
No,
it.
no, ma'am, he is not, because he is going to pay this one way or another. It may take him a year, but he will pay this.
Like, we're gonna like leave in the morning and like we're gonna get to Winterbuck like, guys, do you hear something? And there's gonna be like a choo 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 choo. This officer chasing us down.
Fucking Skyrim police. It's just the Skyrim police.
Officer Construct Cop reporting for duty.
This is a future character in one of the players. Give me an insight roll, Vincent.
Don't
Yeah,
give
you
me that
run a whole
idea.
nother
As he does
campaign.
hand you the ticket.
Ooh.
You better pay this soon. Like, you don't know what it says because it's like written in like gnomish binary, but you know what? You don't want to mess
I will
with
take care of this as soon as I earn the money. I will bring it back immediately.
Yeah, the construct cops will stand down.
I feel like Snow would be tempted to just keep whacking him, but he's not
You're
gonna-
raying, but maybe
he's
you
not
need to be
gonna-
like calm down,
Yeah,
nearly
yeah.
swing again.
He does that.
How are my friends reacting to these RoboCops that are broken and old? Who's older, Sabriel or the Robocops?
That's a question. You can't. Hard to tell.
Okay.
I don't think your ancestors really understand. They don't understand the machines. Your species have never really had. You've never had a robot wars. That's not in your repertoire. So.
No one tell Ballard that.
Now we're gonna have robot wars. So they stand down. The two that aren't smashed and aren't like regular models are kind of like looking around. Well, no, they're just like still. The Goldie is looking around and kind of like it with its other hand like taps it on the walls and it just starts walking up and down the cave.
Looking at the machinery, with my knowledge of industrial farming equipment, does it look like anything that could be easily repaired?
Oh, you don't even need to do a check for this. This would require an expert.
Okay.
This is not necessarily made by an artisan, like an individual artisan. Like a lot of machinery is made by, or especially Arcana tech, which mixes magic and machinery, is like it's made by one specific person. They're the only person who knows how to make X thing. This one, because of the useful thing with clockwork machines is anyone who really understands clockwork can probably fix it. But
That is not me.
No, you'd need someone who's clockwork proficient, basically. Specifically Gnomish, but they wouldn't necessarily be known. They would have just had to like study and have time to study.
We don't have the skills to do robot brain surgery today. Can we go further in and not die, or are they gonna?
Well,
go
the
aggro
two
on us again?
the two like basic issue cops are not moving out of the way. And they are kind of blocking the way, but you could probably squeeze past. Goldie would be walking around.
As mentioned, it is very cold outside, and we would like to just take an evening to rest here. We'll only be sleeping and setting up a camp to eat, and then we'll be on our way in the morning. Is that going to be okay? Should we stay towards the entrance of the cave, or can we go back a little further?
This locale fails designation checks. Squatting permits are allowed in the recognition of lacking data.
That sounds like permission.
Yeah, Snow's like, I think that's good.
I think that was a yes. So we should probably not delve too greedily or too deeply into this cave. I heard what I was saying as I started to say it.
That seems to be what Goldie is doing, but there is no deeper. This is just a pass through. There is no cut deeper. If there was, it's fallen back in with time or is hidden. And that kind of seems to be why old Goldie here is confused. Because this is obviously not where they were, this is not their beautiful house. This is not their beautiful wife. How did they get here?
Perhaps we could take you with us and you could get repaired and redesignated for a new task.
It's going to be a persuasion check.
Ooh.
I think Goldie has been walking up and down the walls, kind of beating on them, as if trying to find, a doorway or whatever. And it will turn. The head will turn around all the way, and then the torso, and then the legs, and it will kind of like holster the pike like in itself, essentially. Explain your designation, Sir Vincent Ananias. State directive. State purpose.
protector of the people, defender of innocence, bound for glory and destined for greatness.
Define glory, define greatness. The rest.
I will face
your
all
statements.
challengers head on, face first, in the battle, whenever necessary. I will honor the tenets of my deity, but mostly, I will protect those in need and defend those who are weaker than myself.
You can kind of hear a scratchy noise coming from the inside of Goldie's head. And because it's not all enclosing, you can kind of see there's like kind of like a needle moving in there. And there is a nod. It appears that my community is misplaced. My designation is much the same, lacking extraneous parameters, such as glory. I accept your terms.
I think you and I were designed for very similar futures. There's much we can accomplish together, should you like to come with us and assist, if necessary, in the apprehension of criminals and miscreants.
Such cross-jurisdiction operations are not within my operational parameters, but clearly situations have changed. You are far outside the recognized size barriers for halflings, at least.
Noah would be like, "What about that one?" And he point his sword to Pete.
When do you want me to clear out the kobold infestation within this cavern?
No.
This
They're
kobold-
with them.
This
They-
kobold
It
is
is a halfling, not a
a
kobold.
valued asset and friend.
This is my dog. His name is Beep.
I understand. It is an asset.
Have you not seen halflings dressed as kobolds before?
Seeing and understanding halflings are two different directives.
What do you think of my kind?
I do not think I operate. Protection
You
against
operate.
giants are not within my operational parameters.
We're
But
on
you
our
are
way
far you are far below size requirements for such giants.
So
We
looks
are-
down at his body and he's
Go ahead, Vincent.
Oh, I was just gonna say that we are on our way to meet with some halflings in the trade. We're in search of trade. Perhaps there's someone there that can help get you restored.
They will nod. They will kind of make a motion with their one of their hands, and the one they haven't been using the pike with, and the other two automata will kind of like stand to the side again and kind of go back into the little crouching thing, and they will nod, and that's when you get the little new party member gain noise. As you...
I'll go and gather up all the parts from the one that we beat up and put it into Snow's bag of holding. Hopefully they can either repair this one, or worst case scenario, we can cannibalize the parts to repair the others. But
yeah.
The Sabriel is, this thing is clearly, has a thought process. What is your name, officer? I want to make a complaint. No.
it will point to its badge.
God damn it!
And its badge is GOLD 1.
Love it.
So-
Goldie is actually
So
its
it
name.
is Goldie.
That's wonderful.
I can't. Goldie's just the perfect name for this.
You
Little
know I
baby.
have to draw him now, and now he's gonna be Sabriel's best friend.
Friendship with Grimwald is over. Now Goldie is my friend.
Sabriel's the boyfriend meme where he's like walking with Grimwald.
Yeah.
I just need to see Ori's picture, and this is how Sabriel got his latest pet, thanks to Vincent.
Oh god.
Holy shit, he killed Ollie.
Like Grimwald's at the mouth of the cave being like, I don't see why we need them. But fine.
Sabriel's gonna call Cal during the rest to be like, babe, guess what? I got another pet.
Oh, I'm actually lightheaded after that.
Oh jeez.
I broke Ollie. Can I have
so-
inspiration?
No. Where do you think you are?
Inspiration,
You-
we're trying to kill the DM. That's a bad precedent.
I've gotten it before. I got it for making up the OnlyFins pun.
All
Oh,
you get
yeah.
here is the satisfaction. The sense of, what is it, like wealth and satisfaction?
I didn't even think it
Whatever.
was that funny. I didn't even think it was that funny.
You can rest here in the cave under the watchful, unfeeling, cold eyes of your skeleton necromancer and now a clockwork cop.
We've got Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I did not give him an Arnold voice, so for the record,
I just need for you to have him say at some point, dead or alive, you're coming with me. That's all I need.
that does need to happen at some point. He also needs to stab someone in the dick with the pike.
Right. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. Well, and that's not
For
how
some-
I expected that encounter going.
For some
But I'm
reason, my
okay with
brain
it.
jumped to that's after said person is impaled on said dick through pike. Just having them like dance the person around like Woody, like the shark in Toy Story. I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Just like marching them back and forth. I don't know why. That's where my brain went. I'm sorry.
If
Don't give Quill and me any shit post fodder. Just don't.
if Goldie starts going rampant, you're gonna have some real problems. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end off today's session. You can rest here in the cave, be ready to make it to Winterbuck next session. Before we go to our return to slumber, we can real quick talk about what we're working on, starting with Sir Vincent.
So I had to postpone some of my stuff that I was planning for January because I bought a house. So I am in the process of packing things and moving things, which are closing on the house on January 31st. So that's really exciting. And it's my first house I've ever bought, so I'm really excited about that. But after that, once I get things set up, I'm in talks and works to try to get a my own D&D live stream game up myself. So yeah, it's really exciting. I'm really pumped. It's been a long time coming. We've been working on it for years, trying to get this done. And finally everything kind of fell into place perfectly one day, after years of trying and blood and sweat and tears. But yeah, it's really, really exciting. So that's me.
Hell yeah, that's how it always goes as well. It just kind of accidentally happens. Speaking of poetry, accidentally beating gaming challenges live on stream.
Yeah.
Designed not for mortal men.
Yeah, I haven't actually done any God Hand this week, or maybe I did like one God Hand thing. But
He can't tell time anymore.
Don't
Yeah.
you be playing so
It's
much
just
God
a
Hand, you
blur.
don't even know. It's like
Yeah.
breathing.
Yeah, but no, I've been, I stream a variety of games. I've been doing XCOM 2 a lot this week and Crusader Kings 3 as well, so strategy stuff. And tomorrow I actually have a D&D live stream of my own in the evening. I don't think it overlaps with Ori's. I don't think so. I think yours is earlier than mine.
Mine's at 2.
Yeah, mine is at 6 p.m. EST.
Yeah, it doesn't
so,
overlap.
Yeah, I tried to think about that when I was playing it because I was like, I know Ori's starting a stream too. So, but yeah, so and that's been fun, and that's about it for me.
Okay, Quill.
Just the usual for me. Just all the YouTube shit posts and just vaguely posting about snake women from XCOM on Twitter. You know, the usual.
Yeah.
So yeah, just follow me on Twitter and YouTube if you want to see me shit posts that's vaguely lewd. That's what the general theme has been these past few days. Not gonna lie. Vaguely.
Uh-huh. All right, Ori.
Hi, it's me, your favorite local elf obsessed shit poster. Yeah, I do the arts. I have commissions open. I have bills to pay. If you would like your character art done in, because apparently people forgot that I do watercolors and other stuff too. So if you want a commission in non-digital art, I will do it. I apparently forgot that I need to like make that known. But also I made a Sabriel that I'm gonna paint on Hero Forge. So it's not.
It's pictures
very
on
accurate.
Discord.
Yeah.
And in the community Discord, there are pictures.
Yeah, and there's a
think.
Verum, but yeah, there's pictures in the channel. But yeah, I have commissions open, and we have Ghost of the Greenwood tomorrow at 2 p.m. EST, and the party is going to go hunt the white stag. It's totally gonna go smoothly and fine. There's not a werewolf anywhere. Okay, but yeah, that's it. You can find me at the Lady Ori everywhere. I might stream tonight. I don't know yet.
We should be so lucky. I'm in that Lord of the Rings Ghost of Greenwood game, by the way. Very rarely that I am the player. So if you want to watch me be a dwarf and talk in my dwarven voices, there be the way. We are back in full swing. 2022 schedule at the moment. Thank you all for joining and for subs and support and for new followers and stuff. We have this show here and now. We have the Wednesday show, Mind Over Matter, which takes place in the Underrealm or maybe somewhere else at the moment. Which Quill is also guesting in for a little while. Quill thought they were going to leave, but I've pulled them back in. They ain't done yet. That is a very kind of deep emotional show with a lot of, long discussions about life. And there is also a Patreon show, because this show is supported by Patreon. If you like the content, $1 will get you access to behind-the-scenes stuff, things that we work on Fridays, which is D&D homebrew stuff that's also accessed on Patreon, and there is a Thieves game set in the northernmost city of Udar. It's basically the furthest north on the globe civilization lives. You get much for north, and it's the North Pole. Who knows what's up there? Santa? Who knows? We'll see you next week. Hope you'll join the Discord, follow on Twitter, all that thing. We'll get a little bit thank the patrons, and then we'll see you then. Bye.